Once again, Spider Trinidadian, peace to the kings, queens, gods, and goddesses worldwide. I'm back again here with another message regarding true friendship and support. The fact that we don't show support to our friends in need, or if we don't show support to our family members in need, which is even more important. Say if you have like a little brother or older sister that's going through something, or like they have a graduation coming up, and we don't support, it's that's not going to take away from the person that's doing good. However, it is discouraging to the person. It's up to the person now, let it bother them, or he or she, but it is kind of a bit discouraging. Being that I grew up without a dad, it was hard that everything I did I never got credit for. So um sometimes people can be overachievers through childhood traumas, which is probably one of my flaws. I'm not even gonna lie, I admit that. I'm probably an overachiever through childhood trauma because there was dad had a father figure, but I never knew my dad. I seen him for a couple years when I first was born, but other than that, but I got to know my grandpa. My grandpa was like a real like pillar in the community, so I learned from him, right? So this video is just telling you how to consider being a good person when you're not being watched and when you're being watched. Just being a good humanitarian. Come inside and let me tell you about this real quick. Before I start this video, I want to tell you guys to please make sure you watch the whole video, because in the last video you guys heard this crazy dude commenting and all this stuff. I don't think he watched the whole video. He thought that I was just trying to like bash white people and stuff. No, I'm telling you the truth. You don't know what happened to me, man. You're making it true by acting like that. How are you acting so ignorant, man? You know what I mean? All I'm trying to say is that all will be revealed. Something happened to me. Right? Something is happening to me. I'm going through a civil lawsuit, and you out here like, that's ignorant, man. But I'm not mad at you. The only reason I'm not mad at you is because you haven't been through what I've been through. You don't see the lens that I see. So I'm not here to like, bash you, but I do want you guys to at least watch the whole video, right? So with that being said, let's dive deep into this matter of being a supportive friend, or even building a community for your fellow friend or family members to prosper, right? Because as we know, a system and a system and a system is working against us, right? So all we have is each other. Let us collide with our ideas and grow, right? So with that being said, meaning that if you see somebody being a pillar in the community or doing good, make sure you support that person. I'm not talking about me now. You don't got to support me. It's somebody that Make sure if you know someone that has a business, or someone has some kind of art, or somebody that can rap, or somebody that can sing, support them. Don't just watch them. Help them spread their message. See, that's called being a humanitarian. Remember when we were little, I was watching a TV show with my son, and about sharing is caring. We were just hanging out, and I was saying, just watch a little TV. You don't really watch too much TV like that, but sometimes I did research that songs like head, shoulders, knees, and toes, all of these body part languages, the first language was music. So if the kid hears music, they get to memorize how to memorize their sentences. So I'm not saying TV is horrible. I'm just saying read to them is really important. I read to them too, but make sure they listen to frequencies like 432 hertz while they're learning, because it enhances brain development. So with that being said, I noticed that with the kids, we tell them, hey, listen, sharing is caring. Forgive your neighbor. Let me tell you a little secret that happened the other day with me and my son. Right, I was putting on his shoes. He had his hand inside the door because he was trying to like get balance, right? And suddenly the door closed, and it closed on his finger. He's like, ow, and he started crying. He's like, ah. He's like, what did I do? Why? I said, no, I'm sorry, it was an accident. And when I said an accident, I said, come and give you a hug. And he said, hug. And then he knew it was an accident. And then right then and there, it didn't hurt him no more. I'm looking at his nail, and it looked red and stuff. It wasn't that bad, but he's not hurting. He's not crying in the moment, right? Because I was there to console him. I was there to nurture him. So with that being said, as kids, if we're learning how to, forgive and not forget, why don't we do this as an adult, right? When we're talking about helping someone, hey, listen, I'm sorry if I did that to you, though, bro, but hey, listen, why don't we do this so that we can grow, right? Growth. I like to plant stuff sometimes. I'm growing a couple of things: watermelon, ginger, um, papaya, all that stuff. And I noticed that when you're growing, it takes time, right? Things takes time. I want this thing to grow now, but I have to keep nurturing and water. I'll be watering things, right? So when you water things and you nurture things, suddenly you become one with your environment. You get to be highly intuitive because you know what it needs. You see how the leaves is curling up. You don't need no more water. Maybe it's too much nitrogen and phosphorus inside the soil. So you try to go back and try to put on some I don't know, coffee grinds. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, nurturing the root structure, because the most important thing about gardening is having a healthy root structure. But that's a whole nother video, right? As far as, let's get back to the subject about being a friend and helping your friend and family out with whatever they have to do. We have to get into the realm of doing this, because if we don't, we're going to be caught in a cycle of competing against each other, pocket watching, hating on each other, gang stalking each other, gaslighting each other. But the whole essence was for us to grow. So we're doing everything backwards, right? So in my sense, I don't know. I'm learning as I grow. You guys see in my process. So this is how I'm helping. This is how I bring my contribute to society, because I help, right? I'm a nurturer. I nurture myself. I never could keep a job for some reason, man. I tried these jobs. You know why? Because I have inner knowing, man. I get into people's insecurity a lot, man.